Well, hello.
Hello.
Are we live? Can't tell.
Yeah, I think it's working. Okay. How are you guys? We'll give it a little bit more time for people to get in.
Yeah, exactly. So happy to see all you guys in here. This is awesome. So who saw the live show that we put out yesterday?
Speaker.
Yeah, I'm so happy you guys loved it. Saw so many great comments. It was so much fun watching it with you guys. So you guys stick around to the end. We might show you a new song that we're working on that's coming out soon. So it's a little sneak peek. How are you? I'm good. Thank you. How are you? So we're gonna have another song pretty soon. We'll announce the date in about a week or two, but it's coming out very soon.
All right, so okay, I think we got enough people in here.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, so we'll get started, but just wanted to know how you guys are. How are you guys getting through the pandemic? We've just been making a lot of music. Obviously, you guys have seen like the videos coming out. We just dropped the live show yesterday. The fadeaway video, it's about a week ago. So just have like a lot of new stuff coming out. And yeah, so pretty much we wanted to talk about how the virtual show came together that you guys probably saw yesterday, and then we're gonna get into just various questions that you guys have been sending in on the Instagram, and yeah, so we'll just talk all through it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, so as you know, we did the live show in this sort of abandoned like mansion, and each song had its own like kind of unique room. And we kind of just like kind of paired up the feeling of the song with like the style of the room, and we thought that worked really well. But interestingly enough, before that, we were actually going to do it in an abandoned warehouse. But then we kind of, we worked with our creative team, and they sort of convinced us that this would be the better way to go. And I think they're definitely right. It turned out so much better than we could have expected.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. Just like we shot everything in like one day, where it was like the first half of the day we shot the fadeaway video, and it was out in the farm fields, and there was like this crazy blizzard. You guys obviously saw like how cold Pat was. There's a lot of questions about that. And then we shot the live show for like the rest of the day, like inside this like haunted mansion that was like on the farmland kind of thing. So so it was like cool how it all came together, and we just really wanted to like reimagine the songs into whether they were like a little bit more rock sounding or some of them were more stripped back, like the Take You Back in Time one that a lot of people were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was really cool. I'm really glad you guys liked it a lot. It seems like everyone loves it so far. It took us about like 3 months, I think, to put it together.
Yeah, there's a lot of planning. I mean, these things always are, right? You're just going back and forth with stuff. And just like challenging, obviously, with everything going on in the world, that there's a lot of restrictions. We're over here in Toronto in Canada. Obviously everyone has different restrictions in different areas. Like over here, it's like a full lockdown kind of thing. So we ended up shooting these videos. It happened just before the lockdown took place. And once the lockdown took place, it was like we couldn't do any more videos kind of thing. So we haven't done any videos since the lockdown started. And that's pretty much like how it came together. But yeah, I'm just gonna check out some of your guys' comments. Looks like we have a lot of people. Yeah, I was gonna say a lot of people from Russia, right?
Yeah, a lot of people from Russia, like Brazil. Like we know that like on YouTube, like we have like everybody's from like different countries and stuff, which is awesome. So really like lucky to have fans like all over the place. So it means a lot to us when you guys tell us where you're from, and just knowing that we have like love all over the world is an amazing feeling.
Someone from Markham nearby.
Oh, nice.
Slovakia, let's go.
Oh, I see someone asked what guitar I use. It's like a Schecter Diamond Series. I actually got it when I was 12 years old, I think, and I just ended up updating it as I got older, and just to keep it in shape kind of thing. So that guitar really means a lot to me because I've had it since I started playing guitar when I was 12. So oh, it's coming in.
It's flying right in.
Yeah. Oh, it just showed up. So this guitar just magically showed up into the live, but this is the guitar that I use pretty much in like all of our concerts or in the live show and stuff. So this is the one that everyone always sees. So anyways, I got this when I was 12, so that was it's a big deal to me.
There you go.
We got Portugal, Taiwan, Oakland, California,
Colombia.
Mexico. We got to go to all these places when.
I was gonna say, yeah.
Yeah, well, as soon as this pandemic ends, whenever that happens, and whenever we're like allowed out of the country and stuff, we want to come straight to you guys. So a big part of why we did this virtual show was because our goal was to make everyone feel like, you know, you're seeing some sort of a concert from us kind of thing, because we can't really give that to you right now in person. So we wanted to create this sort of like experience of getting as close as possible to, you know, showing you guys like a cool virtual show kind of thing, so that you guys could, you know, watch it from home and feel like we were kind of there. So especially for like anyone that's might be out there that's isolated right now and feeling like alone, or you know, everyone has different situations in this pandemic, that we just like wanted you guys to feel like a little bit less lonely, or whatever you might be going through. Just wanted to distract you for, you know, 30 minutes and just like show you a cool live show, you know, and so we hope that came across that way. That was important to us.
So just like going back to Fade Away, for example. So just going back to Fade Away, it's kind of interesting because like when we got to the location in the morning, there was no snow anywhere. Like it was muddy and like gross out. And by the time we actually ended up shooting, like a blizzard started, and it totally changed the way everything looked. But I think like we got really lucky because like it actually looks really good with all the snow.
Yeah, I remember when we had the when the blizzard was happening, it was like, this is either going to ruin the video or it's going to make it really, really good. And then it ended up making it really good. So we were really happy about that. We got kind of lucky. And Pat was freezing and dying. So he was dying in the video and then almost dying.
I mean, like, everybody was saying I looked miserable, and it's true because like actually, I legitimately did. I was freezing my ass off.
Didn't even have to act miserable, really.
Didn't really have to act. Miserable. Yeah, the weather did it for me.
So what cities are you guys from specifically? If you want to like drop them in the chat, it's always just so interesting to see like where people are from, like across like our fan base. So. Someone asked, how did your head miss the water in the video?
Honestly, by chance. They told me that I should kind of try to land a bit in the water, but I kind of missed it. But we only did that shot twice, and we ended up using the first one because it just looked a lot better. But yeah, I definitely almost fell in the water. That would have been bad.
Yeah,
I was so cold, man.
Wow, it's a lot of cities.
A lot of cities.
Mexico, Denver. Yeah.
Wichita Falls. Western Australia.
Poland. We got Poland in there. Pat's Polish.
I'm Polish. Jak się masz?
Wow, that's awesome. So I guess we can get into some like the Instagram questions now. Like,
yeah, let's do that.
So we have like a list that we made. Like, so people were sending in a lot of questions on Instagram of stuff that they wanted to know. So we wanted to answer in here, and we wrote down your handles. So we don't know your real names. We know your like usernames. So some of the usernames are a little strange,
a little hard to read,
and a little hard to read because there's like underscores and like dots and stuff. So we're just gonna do our best with the usernames, but so pull those up. Okay. So the first question we have is from L_Dalsan. So if you're in the chat, this is your question. Do you guys feel a connection to the songs you make? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah,
100%.
I think we wouldn't like put out a song if we didn't have a connection to it, kind of thing, because it's like every song that we put out is always important to us or important to the story that we're trying to tell over time, kind of thing, and also just speaking to our growth as artists over the years, kind of thing.
Yeah.
So we definitely have like a connection to every song in different ways, kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So Lau Nicasio is asking, was Pat freezing recording Fade Away? I mean, like, we kind of answered that.
Yeah, we answered that a bit earlier.
But it's freezing.
Really cold.
Very cold.
So the next one is from Guisemi. If you could pick one song from Shadows in My Home, which one would it be? Which one was the most fun to produce? I think we both have we might have different answers to this.
I think we have different answers. What's yours?
I would say this one is playing actually, which is Ghost in the Night, is like one of my favorites. I think it is my favorite from Shadows in My Home if I had to pick one. And I think the most fun to produce song was probably Fade Away for me, though, because I think that's one of my favorite productions for sure. What's yours?
From Shadows in My Home, I think honestly Fade Away or Ghost in the Night are like two of my top picks. Ghost in the Night for me just came together so crazy fast. Like it was just like the kind of in the moment sort of just like freestyling it, and I love when that happens because I really like usually love the song after. Then that kind of happened with Fade Away as well. Yeah,
Fade Away was like when we finished that song, we just like kind of knew that it was like this needs to be the intro of the album, and it's also potentially like our best, we would say like our favorite one on the album, like overall, like as like an overall agreement. But yeah, that one just off the bat, like as soon as it was done, we were like, this is great. Like there's, we don't need to do anything else to the song. It is what it is. And then we knew we were going to make a video for it and stuff, but we just didn't know what it looked like yet. And then when it came together, it just felt perfect kind of thing. So
yeah.
The next question we have is from Hardzy with 2 Ys. What was the most difficult part of creating the album? What was the inspiration when creating it? Most difficult part creating the album, I think it was just like so you guys have all heard the first album, the debut album with like Wyland, Canadian Dubai and all that. And so I think like it's the feeling of like starting fresh after you put out a full, like it was 14 songs on the first album. And then the next day when we like, all of that was out, the next day we were like, okay, like now we got to start working on the next phase of everything, starting over kind of thing.
Yeah, it's always a weird feeling starting over, right?
It's like we just like given so much out, and then we're like, okay, like now we gotta
do it again,
do it all over again, but we're doing it differently again. It's like so. I guess the hardest part is like right at the beginning. It's like, okay, what is next kind of thing, and that was about a 2-year process.
Yeah.
And I think just near the end, just like wrapping it all up and branding it and stuff like that was a difficult part as well, because we had a lot less time to do that.
Yeah.
And we wanted that to be perfect as well and to match the music. And I think that becomes the branding and everything is a very important part of the album.
Yeah, I feel like it almost takes as long as making the music sometimes. Like we were working on we made a comic book as part of our merch, for example, and that took like a year to put together. Yeah, just going back and forth with the artist who made it, and so it's just like all these extra things on top of the music, just are also like kind of hard to do, but so worth it in the end. Yeah, it takes a long time, and like I think so. Yeah, branding the album is definitely a difficult part, and that also speaks to the inspiration as well as like in the branding. Like it was, so I guess with this, it was like the inspiration was really just like, it's always like life, right? It's a lot of our music is very life-based music, very situational stuff. So really the inspiration comes from the experience. But at the same time, like, so like the branding and stuff like that is the inspiration really came from like how the music sounded and how we wanted to present it pretty much. So hopefully that makes sense and answers that question. Okay. Just reading some of the comments. I'll read another one from this list. So McLovin Mendoza 22 is asking, what is your favorite song you guys ever made? What inspired it? And so I guess that's everything we've ever done. Of everything? Of everything, yeah. What's yours? I love Wyland. I mean, like I really do. I don't know, like that is my favorite song, I think, of all of them. I like a bunch of them though. That's the thing. Yeah. My favorite song that we ever made, I want to say potentially also Ghost in the Night. And I know I said that before, but I don't know. Just the vibe of that one, man, it's good. Yeah. What are you? My favorite, I think, is like overall. I would say is Feel It. Is my favorite. So you're saying you really feel that song? Yeah. So this song called "Feel It," like maybe not everyone would know this song because it's like you have to know us for at least like probably 3 years. Yeah, it's an older one for sure. It's an older one, and it was a song that was like at the end of our debut album and was out a little bit before the album as well. But it was like more of a song like an interlude. And like I just always felt like this song was underrated. I see someone saying that in the chat as well. Is that it was like a song it's about a minute and a half, but it's we created it so quickly. Like it was something that just came together so fast. Like from like I think I started the beat,
and then you were like writing as I was working on it, and then it was like done within the night, within like 2 hours or something from start to finish.
It was one of our fastest songs for sure. 2 hours.
Yeah, it's probably about 2 hours, and
it's just a vibe though, like it just kind of came together because it did. And it's hard to explain. I don't know.
And it just felt really right. So I don't know. That one's my favorite. I know that's like kind of not like an obvious pick, but that's definitely one of my favorites. And if you haven't heard it, I would definitely suggest listening to it. So I'll pick a next one. So Jess Ruzel. I also think I saw her name in this chat, so I think she's in here.
Jess, are you in here?
Jess, write us a comment if you're in here, because I think I did see her name. Like she was writing some stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, so she asked what a funny memory between us is. What is a funny memory between you guys?
That's a good one.
Yeah, that's a good question actually.
It's always so hard to think back because it's like there's so many like. I mean, we've been making music together for like 6 years now, right? It's like
yeah. A funny memory.
I mean, it was not really a funny memory, but like kind of funny the way it came together. Like the fact that we made Tragedy over the internet and then we only met after we made it, like after it was out. It's just kind of funny the way that came together. That to me is kind of funny.
Yeah.
Do you have any other ones or?
I don't think it's something specific because there's probably some things for sure. But I think overall, like I guess maybe it's not a memory, but it's like it is like funny of how this all came together because we were just looking at this yesterday of how like we found the original like Facebook message that I sent Pat when we didn't know each other at all, and we didn't know like what city each of us like lived in, or like we didn't really know anything about each other, and like a mutual friend like introduced us like over Facebook, and it was the messages are just like, hey, like do you want to collab sometime? Like I make like music or whatever, and then like I know you make music, and then that was like kind of how everything started. So
yeah.
And then after that, the first thing we made was Tragedy over email pretty much, and then we didn't meet in person until sometime after it came out. So and now we're here 6 years later. 5-6 years later.
Yeah, so, that's 2015. So,
so let's go to Joanna or _x Joanna.x. Okay, so what is the best advice anyone has given you?
Best advice. My parents always said that I should just do what I love to do. Like they didn't push me to become like, a dentist or something. And I think that kind of like enabled me to get as far as we did, and I think if you really feel passionate about something, just do it,
Yeah.
Don't do something because somebody tells you to.
Yeah. And I think like a great piece of advice I've always heard as well is just like, I mean, it sounds really simple, but it's just like not giving up is especially when things are, everything's like a roller coaster. And I guess that's like, plays into like never giving up. And like, you just, you never know like how far things can go. And like, it's only like when you really stop that you're like, you just completely cut off the potential of what you're doing or what you're working on or what you're passionate about. So I guess also for anyone that's in the chat right now, like if you are like a creative or really like any field that you might be in and it's something that you're passionate about and maybe it's not moving as fast as you hoped or other people might be ahead of you or something, it's like all of that can change so quickly, and the only way that that you'll not get to where you want to be is if you just give up, right? So it's just like you just never know where things are going to go unless you keep trying and you keep going at it. Especially if you're passionate about something, you should definitely just keep going, kind of thing. Even if just do whatever you can to get the result you want.
Yeah, 100%. So the next question is from D Vixen, and she, I don't know. They're asking, are you guys gamers?
Yes. So, well, I mean, so
we
to some degree,
both are. We both
so
are.
we both play games like so we both play Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. So I'm sure like some people in here probably also play Call of Duty Warzone. It's obviously a popular game. We've also played this game called Rust, which is
such a toxic game, but I love it.
Yeah. So if anyone knows what Rust is, we also play some of that.
I think that's pretty much it for me.
That's pretty much it.
Honest.
Yeah. We pretty much just play Warzone. That's like the main thing. Like that one's really fun. It's really good to like kind of blow off steam like after working on music a lot and like especially like after listening to so much music and listening to stuff we're doing. Like your ears get tired and like you just kind of want to focus on something that is like completely different from music, which can be video games. So so we just end up like hopping on Warzone and just like playing Call of Duty for like a while and stuff. And so we'll kind of do that like at least a few times a week, just for some variety.
Arvoni is asking, when's your birthday? Your birthday just passed recently.
Yeah, my birthday was just on February 8th. And so it just passed. And then Pat's birthday's coming up on the 26th.
March 26th.
So
very soon.
So our birthdays are actually pretty close together.
Also, if you guys do want to play Warzone or Rust or whatever, just send us a message on Instagram. Just DM us, and we're down.
Yeah. We were thinking about like maybe doing like a stream sometime of like playing Warzone, but I don't know. We're just like something we're thinking about. So let's see about that. This is a good question. So, Mary UK.
It's MA.RYUK.
Mary UK.
We're doing our best here.
The usernames are a little confusing, but they asked, "Are you brothers or friends?" And we are friends. We're not actually brothers. So, some people have actually thought that we were brothers, but like we do call each other brother, like hey brother, and
you're
like
practically my brother at this point.
Yeah, like we're pretty much brothers, but not like actually brothers. So just to clear that up.
H Morse _is asking, what's your favorite plugin or VST? Your production is always insane. That's a quote.
Thank you, H Morse. I appreciate that. I'll keep this one short because there's probably not very many producers in here, but I would say Omnisphere is definitely my favorite VST, and also Analog Lab. Analog Lab is like a new favorite. It's all vintage stuff. I've been starting to use that a lot lately, so I'll leave it at that.
So Peachy
GG Da with some H's. How long have you guys been making music? We were just talking about this earlier, but it's been almost 6 years.
Yeah, since 2015. But I mean, like personally, you started like way early. You were like 12 when I started.
Yeah.
I think, right?
Like we both started separately, like much earlier. But so I guess for me, it was like I started. I think I started with my first instrument was like piano. I think when I was like 8 or something. I honestly hated piano when I first started, but then I got a drum set and then started beating on the drum set in my parents' house, and they hated that. When I was like 10, and then I was talking about that guitar earlier that I got when I was 12 that I play today. That was when I switched to guitar, and then that was like kind of the real music journey for me from there. So when did you start?
I had a trash Casio like piano when I was in like 3rd grade or something. So I used to take like piano lessons. I had like a teacher come to my place like once a week. But I kind of hated it because like playing somebody else's music just isn't that interesting to me. Like I like making stuff. So I stopped doing that. And then in 2012, I don't know how old I was, but I just kind of like got into producing, and like that was so much more fun for me because like, you actually got to like make stuff and not just play somebody else's stuff.
Yeah. Someone asked if we're self-taught. For me, it was kind of like half and half. Like it was like self-taught. I did have like some lessons over the years in guitar, but in terms of everything else, especially with production, was this all self-taught? Just kind of figured it out. I think you're mostly self-taught too, right?
Yeah. So in 2012, when like I said, when I got into kind of like producing and stuff, I sort of played around doing like vocals and whatever, and it took a while to kind of develop or whatever, because I'd never really done it before. So I think from like starting in 2012 to having something that I felt good about was probably like 3 years of just like practice and like messing around and stuff. And like, I think it's like around 2015 when we put out Tragedy. That's like kind of like one of the first, I think that's like the 4th song I ever released. I put out a couple small ones by myself before that, but yeah, that's like around then.
Just reading some of the comments here. There's someone asked about how we met each other. So we were explaining this a bit earlier, and we'll just recap quickly. That the way that we met each other was I messaged Pat on a Facebook message, and it was just completely like a cold message. And we just like got introduced in the chat by like a mutual friend who like barely knew Pat, I think, at the time. So
yeah.
And then I just said like, hey, like I make music, and like I just wanted to see if you wanted to like collaborate on something. He sent a couple references, and then he's like, yeah, I'm down to try something. And then we went and made a song over email, which ended up being the song called Tragedy, which is the first single we ever released. And then once it came out and it started getting like millions of plays on SoundCloud, then we decided, okay, we should keep making music, and we should also meet up in person. So then we did that, and then we met up in person, realized we were really similar people, and we ended up moving in together like a year later. And then we kept making music, and it's been a journey ever since, pretty much. So that was kind of how everything started. And I feel like that's like a very modern way to start with, like through the internet, right? So
yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Who is Zoe Clark?
Yeah, Zoe Clark.
What tattoo should you get? I mean, I'm not going to tell you what tattoo you should get, but if I do get a tattoo, it'd be probably the Always Never logo. Which is interesting.
Yeah. So people have been getting like sending us like their tattoos of like
it's kind of crazy, yeah. Like,
so there's been quite a few at this point, and it's a lot of like the logo, which is awesome. And then there's been like a couple Wyland tattoos. There's been a few Tragedy tattoos.
Like lyrics and stuff, right?
Yeah, like different lyrics and stuff. So that's really cool. Like I love that you guys are getting like getting tattoos and stuff. And we'll always like repost them whenever. Always send them to us whenever you get them, because we'll always repost them because we love that stuff. And if we had any suggestion, I'd say like the Always Never logo is always a great choice of because you can keep it small if you want to, or it can be big. Like it's you can really play around with it. And if you guys ever need like the logo because you are getting it tattooed on you and you need the image, like we'll always be there to send it to you, kind of thing. So just like send us a message if you ever need that. So someone asked like because there's a couple questions about this. How do we choose a name Always Never, and why the name Always Never? What's the story behind it? So with the name, it's like it has like a couple different meanings to us that just like worked really well when we were initially figuring out what we were going to call ourselves, kind of thing. And like a big thing that it means, it's like it's like the contradiction of always and never kind of thing, right? And it's like there's never any in between kind of thing. So it's like it's really the contradiction of pretty much just like of always and never, and like that plays into a lot of the stories of like the lyrics and the concepts of a lot of our songs. About complicated situations with people or with whoever, where like they're really one way or the other, or feel really one way or the other. It's like love or hate kind of thing.
And how
And
people
it's-
just like hot and cold too. It's just
yeah,
like,
very
you know, you
very
can
hot
never really
and cold kind of thing, right? And
predict
people
it.
always another thing we always talk about is like the theme of people being always but never there kind of thing, and that's also kind of why our username on some of our accounts is always never here kind of thing. 'Cause it's like people that are always never around kind of thing, if it makes sense. So so basically that was like that's one of the main reasons. It definitely has like a couple different meanings to each of us kind of thing that just really works. And the at the same time, also nobody was called Always Never at the time, so that
That's
also worked really well.
Too, yeah.
It just like felt like really right when we picked that name, and so and then we were able to brand it in the way that we wanted to, and yeah, so it just worked out really
kind of
well.
worked out, yeah.
Honestly, I'm shocked that nobody else was called Always Never. So that was great. So that's pretty much like the meaning behind it, but.
Tiladre. Sorry, but if I'm butchering your name. What's the main inspiration for your debut album, the sound and theme? Classic.
So yeah, I guess like the inspiration around the first album was like it was like the whole like almost like the first half of our journey was like the first album, and like and it was like a lot of just like finding our sound kind of thing. So a lot of that was like, I would say it was when we started to like when we made Call Me Over, just like a song that's on the first album.
Yeah, that's actually the first song that we put together that had that kind of like hip hop R&B sort of sound, and we were like, wait a second, this is the kind of we kind of like built off of that. So it was like Call Me Over was like this first song that we made at the I think it was like early 2016 or something. Yeah. And when we had that song, then it started to inspire like other ideas, and we were really just experimenting and trying to find after Tragedy had happened, like the song Tragedy, we wanted to figure out where we went from there kind of thing. So we were experimenting, and we had like various different like really down tempo songs and stuff that we weren't like super in love with. Like we definitely liked them, but then like as we were going, we were just trying to find like what is what's our lane kind of thing, what is our sound kind of thing, and then that just like kept coming together. And as we talked about before, like we didn't really know each other that well at this point. Like back in like 2016, it was like it was so we'd only been making music for such a short time at that point. So it was a lot of experimentation, and that was really the inspiration in the album, was just like that. It was just a period of time that we were trying to figure out like what is our sound together, and then it came together really well. And like the Wyland was already taking off like by the time the album was out. That really like helped with everything. And yeah, so it was really just a growth thing. It was like I guess we were inspired by our own growth of how we were making songs together, essentially. Yeah, I mean, like so theme-wise, lyrically and stuff, I just a lot of heartbreak for me. So just kind of that's where it came from.
Yeah, like definitely like based on like a lot of real life experiences.
So Carla Kostrov. What's the hardest thing you had to go through when you started doing music? Hardest thing? I think just like learning how to do it. Like that's always the toughest part, because like you see other people who are making great music, and you're like, well, damn, how do I get there? And it just like takes a while to like sort of figure out the way. So that to me is like definitely the hardest part. And what do you think?
Yeah, the hardest part when you're starting out, like I started out at such a young age, but it was it's really I guess it's really like learning how to do it. I think a big part is really being able to like write a song, like write a full song that you love kind of thing is but once you get there, it's like things just get easier. So I guess that might be the hardest part, is writing.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah. I feel like the hardest part for me was always finishing a song like completely, because like you might get like 80% of the way through and you're like, well, I don't know how to finish it or like what else to add to it and stuff, and then people just kind of like you put it off to the side and you never finish a song. So I think the hardest thing was like learning how to finish a song. You just have to do it. Just do it, you know. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Marco Gojira, Wyland was a huge bang. Did you guys see that coming? I didn't see it coming.
No, we definitely didn't see it coming. We knew it was a great song though. Like I remember when I finished the instrumental, it's just the instrumental felt special already, and then when Pat took it, came back with like the finished, but like all the vocals and stuff, right? It was like,
yeah, just kind of came together.
This is a really dope song. But I think what took us by surprise was that because it's such like a long and vibey song, like you can even hear like in the intro, it's like there's like 30 seconds, which is like a really long intro. It's like a 30-second instrumental intro kind of thing, which isn't really like typical of a song that like has done as well as it has. And also it's like 4.5 minutes, and like most songs are like 2 minutes long these days, right?
Yeah.
So I think the part that surprises is we never really like set it up to be like a song that was going to get, tens of millions of streams. It was, the formula was just not a formula. It was like, we just put out what felt right kind of thing. And, it just did what it did. And I don't know. It was definitely unexpected for sure.
Esther_XK asks, what career path would you have chosen if Always Never didn't happen?
I was originally really into math and science at the end of high school, and so I was like starting to pursue a career. Like I was like studying like engineering.
Yeah, engineering.
But the thing for me though was just like that music was always in the back of my head, and I knew I always loved it, but I wasn't sure if I was supposed to be allowed to like be a musician. It sounds kind of silly, but it's like I came from like a really small town, and there were like almost no musicians there, kind of thing. It was like a few here and there kind of thing, but there wasn't really like someone to like to really like follow their path kind of thing who had been through it. So I just didn't really know what that looked like, and I didn't know it was really a possibility to be like a professional musician.
Yeah, because it always seems like so unattainable, but
yeah, it seems very unattainable. Like especially I think during that time, because it was
even harder because like I think Spotify and like Apple Music kind of changed like the landscape for that. Like anybody can make music now, so you just have to have something that like people want to hear, I guess.
Yeah.
So that definitely made things possible.
But what would you pick?
So before I started music, or like before I like fully went into it, I was a video editor here in Toronto, and I was doing that for 5 years. And if I hadn't, like, if Always Never didn't happen, I'd just be doing that still. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did it take you to record Shadows in My Home? So, I mean, we kind of touched on this earlier. It was like a 2-year process, you kind of just make songs along the way, and like not every song makes it, but like the ones that we chose, we felt like really fit the project. And then, obviously all the extra stuff, like the, the merch and like the art and stuff, like the videos, that all kind of adds to it. So 2 years.
Someone asked, did you guys originally plan to make your music more cinematic? And that would, I mean, that's a great question, because I don't think we really, did we plan to make it cinematic at first? I'm trying to think if we did, but
yeah, I mean, I think that was always the goal, to have sort of like a cinematic.
Yeah, I can't remember at the very beginning if we did, but then once we started to get going, like after the first song, then like that was where we started to like put in a lot of these soundscapes. You'll kind of hear that in like the 2016 releases, where like we started to get into that, where it was like really creating this like cinematic landscape. And then debut album, it was like everything. It was like it's very cinematic for the most part. So that's definitely like our style for sure. Like that was like a part of finding ourselves and stuff in music.
Mm-hmm.
Also, someone we answered earlier, Jess Rizal, just wanted to say bye because we saw that she's going to work. So
yeah, I guess a lot of people are still working today too. So
if you guys are working right now, or you're on a lunch break or something, and you're in here, like we really appreciate that because like we know it's obviously not like that easy if you are working right now to kind of like stick around, or if you guys are doing school or anything. But definitely let us know in the chat if you are.
I moved to these ones, right?
Yeah.
So CDP is asking if we're ever going to do a strip back or acoustic project, and yeah, maybe at some point. Honestly,
yeah,
we've considered it.
We've kind of been throwing the idea around a lot about doing like an acoustic project.
Either like new songs
yeah.
mixed with like some old, like some of our older songs just kind of remade as acoustic versions.
Yeah. We've obviously done like a little bit of like some stripped back versions of stuff. Like you guys must have heard like with Taking Back in Time, and the virtual show was like a new stripped back version. So that's something like we're considering. Like I mean, let us know like if you guys want us to do like an acoustic project, or if we should release like some of the stuff from the virtual show. Like let us know for sure. How can I get my hair to look like Pat's? That's a good question.
Should I show them the secret?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be back.
Pat's gonna get his hair stuff for you. In the meantime, I'll keep going on the questions. But Nina K asked, when did you learn to play guitar? I started when I was 12. And from there, like I mostly just like learned some covers and stuff like that, and like I was just kind of messing around. And then I started to get really seriously into it. Started playing like acoustic a bit later, and then it's just always like followed me through pretty much my whole life, and really defined my life was the guitar. So, you got the hair product.
Okay, so I didn't know this existed before like a few months ago, but they have this thing. It's like this powder, right? And it's how would you describe it?
I don't know. Yeah, it's like a sticky powder.
It's like a sticky powder that you like spray into your hair, and it just makes your hair stay the way you want it. But it's not like heavy. It's like just kind of like I don't know. Anyways, yeah. that's the key.
Yeah, what's it called? Like Osis or whatever.
Yeah, Osis powder cloud. If that's what you're.
Yeah. So anyone who wants their hair to look like Pat, that's the secret. Is you get the Osis powder. Gerardo asked, have you guys ever released a song that you thought wouldn't do well but did? That's a good question.
I feel like Wyland sort of fits into that because like we didn't know it was gonna do like the numbers it did. Like we thought it was a good song, but like we didn't, I don't know. So it definitely surprised us. So I would say that one probably.
Yeah, that was a big one for sure.
Yeah. What's your music creation process? Like, how do you make a beat? Like, okay, if I was like, Dean, make a beat right now. Like, what would you do?
It's like if I was making a beat, or whenever I make beats or whatever. Usually I start with so obviously I've been talking about guitar a lot today. Usually I start ideas with guitar because that's what I know the best is like chords or progressions or whatever on the guitar, and then working that into Ableton, and then kind of creating stuff around that with like drums and everything.
Do you start with? Oh, you always start with guitar.
Not like always. Like I mean, it's not always guitar, but like sometimes I'll play piano too. Like I do play piano to some extent, but the guitar is always like naturally what I go to. And then anyway, so once I do like the beat, like it's like or whatever it is, then I give it to Pat.
And so I just recorded right here. I mean, like I have my mic.
This is the
this is my
it's a recording setup.
This is my recording setup. But in terms of that, I mean, I like a song with like a nice bass line. Maybe that's why Wyland worked out so well. But yeah, I just kind of like freestyle the melody, and then I kind of keep listening back to it, and I figure out like how many syllables I can fit in, and then I kind of just write the lyrics around that. it's a process, but you know, it works well for me. So
Someone asked if Toronto is such a dark as city as you portray it. That's a great question because so for anyone who's never been to Toronto, which is probably a lot of people in here, it really is like the winters are really long and there's not like a lot of sunlight during the winters. So it is generally really gloomy, and like that really like affects your moods, obviously, right? Like if you live in a city that's just gloomy all the time, there's not really any sun a lot of the time, then yeah, like really affects your moods. For me personally, like I have like my mood gets really dictated by the seasons kind of thing. It's like something I've always dealt with that. So, you know, during the winter months or like especially when it goes from like winter to spring or in fall, like I feel like
you get that
seasonal
depression.
Yeah, seasonal depression. It like really like fucks me up. So, but like we get like a lot of like the seasons are very like drastic, especially the winter. So like right now it's like gray outside and it's like you know, I mean you even see it in like Fade Away, like the video is just like the weather is just so trash kind of thing. Like it's like the blizzards and stuff. So
yeah. I just also feel like maybe people kind of like seem kind of cold in Toronto too. Like
yeah,
everybody's so busy. They're running back and forth. Nobody has like a second to like, you know. A lot of people are just like not nice. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean it's a big city and it's also very gloomy and can be very miserable sometimes with the weather or sometimes the people. So
yeah. Okay, so one sec. I'm trying to find the next question.
So it's talking about seasonal depression is real in Seattle. Oh, from Sunny.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's a thing everywhere.
Yeah, like if you live in like especially if you live in like really like cities with like really shit weather or like the weather is just like all over the place and like really can really fuck with your moods and stuff. So
yeah. Nina K asks, "How are your teenage years? Were you into music back then?" Yeah, I mean, I feel like if anything, I was like super into music like in my teenage years. But I was like really into, I guess like punk rock. I don't know, a lot of Kid Cudi. I loved Kid Cudi back in the day. Listen to Metallica and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're similar to that too, right?
Yeah, like Metallica is one of my favorite bands of all time. So like I have like a lot of influences from that, and especially being a guitar player, like I was into a lot of like rock or like metal stuff, but I always loved hip hop as well, and like I was really into like Kanye West from the time I was like 11 years old, kind of thing. Like I bought like College Dropout and Late Registration, and like that was like a lot of like the early hip hop stuff for me. And so pretty much like I just had like a fusion of influences like growing up and stuff. And so like it's like the way that I make music right now is very intentional because of those like influences I have of like a mixture of sort of rock, metal and hip hop and R&B kind of thing. So
yeah. So just to like switch it up a little bit, Jack Cook is asking, do you ski or snowboard? Or have you ever skied or snowboard?
I used to snowboard, but
yeah, I used to snowboard too. I kind of miss it. I don't know why I haven't, It's
also very hard though. You can get injured very quickly. I'm almost scared to do it now because I wouldn't want to get injured.
I had some bad crashes back in the day.
Yeah,
like really bad.
It was bad. I was just thinking like we could take a break from the questions for a sec. Like obviously we've been answering like, a ton of questions, but I was thinking like we should probably play our new single that's coming out.
Yes,
so
that's right.
So I'm just gonna pull up the file, but so we haven't said anything about this yet, and since you guys are all in here with us, like, don't tell anyone outside of here.
Do not tell anybody.
Don't tell anyone. It's a secret. But we have a song coming out on Thursday that we're excited about, so we're gonna play it for you guys right now. Let me find it here.
Da Vinci's asking if we're independent. Yes, we're still independent, and honestly, that's where it's at, I think.
Yeah, like the thing is, like with the like, I'm really happy we are independent because we can, we can just put out songs that, like, so even with this song, it was like we finished it and then pretty much like submitted it right away to, and you can only do that if you're really independent.
Yeah.
Like, it can be a little bit tough if you like, or if you're on a label.
To get approvals from everybody, right? And then it takes like 5 months to put something out, and it's just seems like a nightmare, honestly.
So I'm pulling it up now. I just found it took me a little bit to find it. So this song is called Shattered. That's coming out on Thursday, March 4th. We've had so much going on that it's like it's like so easy to just like kind of lose track of this stuff, but it's coming out on March 4th. So this is Shattered. Hopefully you guys can hear this. Broken heart, paper on, vicious cycle, loaded gun. I was stupid, we know better. You were dead to me, but I was better. So I made a mistake. Now I know I wouldn't replay. So we didn't matter. Foolish words could end up shining. Could end up shining. Could end up shining. You left me guessing, sleepless nights. Yeah, I had questions. I feel so shameful. I should have known, but I was stupid. I felt so alone. So I made a mistake. Now I know I wouldn't replay. So we didn't matter. Foolish words could end up shining. So that's the song. Yeah. Do the chorus one more time. The chorus is my favorite part. All right, so that's
looks like a lot of you guys like it.
Yeah,
which is great. Glad to hear that.
Also, I saw someone ask about where do I buy that shirt, and I'm not sure if you're talking about mine or Pat's, but if it's this one, it's on our merch. It's on our Shopify. So
did you get this one from like some random store? Like,
yeah,
I don't know if you'd be able to find this again.
I think this was like, I literally haven't seen this shirt anywhere else, but I got this at like a store in Toronto that was like it was like a small independent store. But this, if you wanted to buy this one though, these are for sale on our merch store. So if you guys want to, I know that like some people already have the merch. So so if anybody else wants merch, like just so you know, like it's on the store.
They know.
Yeah, but I know you guys know. But yeah, so
okay. Some more questions in here.
So again, that song's coming out on Thursday, the one we were just playing, and it's called Shattered.
Also, if you feel like we should collaborate with somebody, let us know who in the chat. Love to check them out.
Yeah. Do you remember your fans? Always. We talk to a lot of people on DM. So like if you guys DM us, like more often than not, we like see it and answer and talk to you guys, and like we remember a lot of people. I mean, there's a lot of people, so it is hard to remember sometimes, but like we really do remember a lot of people that do message us, or people that we've met at shows, or people that just bought a lot of merch or something and reached out and was like, hey, can you like sign this or whatever and stuff like that. Like that stuff, we always remember everything like that. So yeah, it's really important to us to that we want to have that connection with you guys, kind of thing. So like there's like there's generally a lot of artists out there who don't connect with their fans like a whole lot, or
just like don't respond to anything.
Yeah, or don't respond or something, and like
sucks. Like,
we want to like. If we were to DM our favorite artists, we would like, and they answered and like talk to us and stuff, like that would we know that would feel amazing. So like if when it comes to you guys, like if you guys DM us or whatever, like we always want to try to get back to you guys so that we can have that personal connection with you guys, because it's important to us. And yeah, so that's really the main thing. Okay, so I'm seeing also
Chase Atlantic.
Chase Atlantic. I was going to mention
them
this
so
too.
much.
So Chase Atlantic. It's kind of funny because we didn't know who Chase Atlantic was maybe like a year and a half or 2 years ago. But then like a lot of people were like commenting on our videos, being like, "You guys have to collab with Chase Atlantic because like you guys have such similar music." And then I was like, okay. So we like checked them out, and we were like, wait, this is amazing. Like,
yeah, it's such good music.
This music's really good. So. And then on Twitter, I think like last year, I wrote something about like that I was like glad that we discovered Chase Atlantic because they're so dope. And then Mitchell like wrote back on it or whatever.
Actually,
yeah, and then he followed us and stuff. So
that's crazy.
That's cool. So it was really cool, yeah. And Chase Atlantic is dope. So like, if something did come up in the future, like we would definitely like collab with them. I think because they just seem like really dope guys and they make great music. So
yeah.
And I know that we'd asked like before one time that in a caption like if like who we should collab with, and I think the biggest answer was Chase Atlantic. So I think eventually we have to make that happen. So let's just throw that out there and
yeah, you guys should message them.
So if I don't know if you guys want to encourage them, like you can go in their comments or something and just like tell them like, you guys should do this. But anyway, so yeah, they're super dope. We love them. Okay, so on questions, so we'll dive back into some of those.
Gudu Bagat. I hope I'm saying it right. I'm sorry. He doesn't really have a question. He says, "You guys are my favorite. Can I please get a shout out, please?" And if it's in our list here, then absolutely, here's your shout out.
Gudu Baguette. Sorry, I'm sorry we aren't saying your name correctly. It's really tough. But shout out to Gudu Baguette.
And anybody else, honestly. Yeah. I've been kind of seeing like some messages like that in the chat. So sorry if we didn't do it in the moment, but shout out to all you guys. Do you know your zodiac sign? Gabriel
Aquarius.
Krakowiak.
Yeah. I don't really follow zodiac stuff very much though.
I don't either. I think mine's Aries. Aries, yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people follow zodiac stuff. I don't really know much about it, but yeah, I'm Aquarius though, I guess.
Aquarius?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know what that means though. Someone's gonna have to tell me what that means.
Yeah.
Someone said favorite food. What's your favorite food? I feel like it's probably something Polish.
No. Like a quality shawarma.
Yeah, a quality shawarma.
Oh, just so good. Quality shawarma anytime.
I love tacos, honestly. Like like especially like authentic Mexican tacos. Like when I used to go to LA a lot, like I'd always get like tacos in LA because they were like a lot of them were like authentic Mexican tacos, and yeah, like I really love tacos. I haven't had a really good taco in a long time, so like that, but that is my favorite food for sure. Someone asked if we cook, and I like cook to some extent, but I'm like not. I'm honestly not like I don't cook anything like that intricate. It's more like steaks or like chicken breasts and stuff like that, or eggs. Pat is the cook though. He's like does
I dabble, you know.
yeah,
Like, I
he
dabble.
cooks a lot of like he's always got some experiment going on all the time in the kitchen. So and also for anyone who doesn't know, like we live together, so like my studio is like over there, like in the other room, and then this is Pat's studio kind of thing. So we just have like a condo together kind of thing, and we like make all the music here, and cook here and stuff like that. So it's
Somebody's asking for a feature email. If you guys have any stuff that you want to send us, it's hello@alwaysneverhere.com. So just send anything there, beats
actually I'll
or
write it
anything
in
like
the
that.
chat.
Yeah, let's do it.
Hello. Oh, it actually it highlighted in some weird way. Anyways, that's our email.
Okay. Yeah,
So,
just no spaces, I guess. That's about it.
yeah.
But yes, that is it.
Will we be releasing the cinematic version of Taking Back in Time on Spotify? We're thinking about that. Like, should we do it?
I want to. I think we should.
I want to.
I like that one.
When we finished that one for the virtual show, we really liked it a lot. So,
yeah, I think it's a cool one. I think we should definitely put it up at some point.
yeah. What VSTs do you recommend to get the ambient sound like Violent? I would recommend Massive by Native Instruments, especially for like a lot of like synth basses and stuff, and also just like much more like spacey synths for the top end, and then also just finding like really atmospheric sounds. Like so, like sometimes we'll like record like rain or record like the wind or something and throw that into songs, and like that's another kind of like key part of our style is using like a lot of organic sounds into the production and stuff. So
Lamar Noel is asking if we've ever switched roles for a day. So I guess he means me producing and you doing vocals. Would you ever sing?
we haven't done that yet.
I think
maybe
it'd
we
be
should.
jokes to try. We should try it one time.
Yeah, we could probably try that one time.
SoundCloud only release.
Yeah, SoundCloud really. Yeah, that'd be funny. Can we have the acoustic version of Are You Okay released? So yeah, these are all like the stripped back version. Just let us know. Like it's like should we do it kind of thing. Like I'm thinking that we'll probably do the Taking Back in Time one on Spotify. But yeah, I don't know. So I'm not sure if we'll put the Are You Okay one on Spotify since it's a little bit older, but I think we do.
Maybe we will.
I think it sounds like we do need to do like an acoustic EP of some sort, or like do like a stripped back project.
Yeah.
Any more covers you guys have done recently? One we're thinking about doing is "Thinking About You" by Frank Ocean.
That's a nice one. Yeah.
That's one we were looking into. We did do we screwed around with like a Rolling Stone cover from Trilogy. So there was that too. But yeah, we got a couple cover ideas like in the works. That's another question here.
Forest or the city? You're more of a city guy, right?
Yeah, I'm definitely a city guy kind of thing. I did grow up in a very small town though.
Yeah. But you wouldn't go back to that?
No, I would never go back to a small town. I don't know. It's just like isn't really for me. Like I like visiting small towns, but I don't really, and I like I like the feel of small towns, but I just can't live there because it's I like to be in very busy areas and stuff, and I um, just find it feels like very lonely in like small towns and stuff. Um, and so I got lived in a small town for like a lot of my life and stuff, and so it was just I felt much more at home when I got to a big city like Toronto kind of thing, and that was that was a big turning point for me. Are you,
yeah, I don't know. I've been thinking about it. I like forests and stuff, but the thing is, I have terrible allergies. So like, if I ever go out anywhere outside of the city, it usually like hits me pretty hard. So like, the city is the only place that where I can actually live comfortably. Fortunately.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the allergies too. Yeah, it's definitely not like great.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Would you ever release any sample packs of drum kits? Yeah, we definitely would. Like, so we've been talking about this for like a little bit, that we would drop like a sample pack kind of thing for people to use, like if they're felt like inspired by our music and wanted to kind of put that into their music as well. So that's a good question, because we were thinking about that already. And basically we would put like drums and like vocal samples and stuff like that any like producers or any musicians that are fans of us, that if they might like that, then like I think we're thinking about throwing that up. So
yeah, we'll definitely announce it on Instagram though if we do, so go follow us there.
Favorite clothing brands except your merch? The merch needs to count.
The merch is my favorite clothing brand.
The merch is my favorite clothing brand. For me, I think is so there's a company called Collar Clothing in Toronto, and they're currently my favorite clothing brand, because they're also the brand is made in Toronto. It's made by a guy named David Collar, and there's a lot of stuff that we wear is from Collar, because we really like it. It makes amazing jeans.
Yeah, the jeans are the best. I don't think I've ever seen jeans like that.
So not even a shameless plug. Like, I actually really love his stuff. So so if you guys like some of the clothes that we're wearing, like sometimes it's from Collar Clothing. So
it's Collar with a K, by the way.
Yeah,
Collar.
KOLLAR.
Yeah. There's also another company that we sometimes get stuff from, GFC. Their stuff is really good too.
Yeah, Get Fresh Co. And that's based in Toronto as well. We really like Toronto brands. Like, that's like a really like there's another brand called Vitali. I
don't think they do clothing anymore.
They don't make,
kind of sucks, but
yeah, they don't make clothing anymore. But they're like they make like rings and necklaces and stuff like that. So we wear that in some of our videos, and we really like that brand as well. So it's called Vitali, VITALY. So it's like another Toronto brand. So we really try to like stick to a lot of Toronto brands, and like it's because we actually really like these brands. Like, there's a lot of really great brands in Toronto. So yeah, so those are the clothing brands that we're into. Do we have a Snapchat? We don't have a Snapchat.
I made one a couple of years back, and I don't think I've logged into it in like 2 years. So if you followed us on Snapchat and we haven't added you back, that's why, because we just don't.
Yeah, we just don't really. I don't know. I actually don't even use Snapchat at all. Like
personally,
just,
right? Yeah.
Just, I don't know. I kind of just deleted it. So, we live together. What kind of stuff do you pick at the grocery store, and who goes for it?
I feel like Dina has a very particular taste in stuff, so we always shop separately. Like, I like a lot of like European type of stuff. Like,
yeah, I'm like pretty basic with like what I get at the grocery store. It's like steaks and stuff like that. Like just like various like vegetables, but it's not like anything like too crazy. That's pretty much the main thing.
Do you collect anything? I mean, I used to when I was like a kid, I guess. I had a collection. Do you have a collection as a kid?
Not really. Like,
did you collect rocks or something?
No, I had like Pokemon cards.
That's a collection.
Yeah, I guess that counts. I had like
They're probably
Pokemon
worth a
cards
lot
and shit,
now.
yeah.
You should go check that out.
Yeah, I've been hearing that Pokemon cards are worth something, so I don't know. I was a Pokemon card guy for sure. Open to recording. Are you guys open to receiving album artwork from small artists? Definitely. So yeah, if you're a small artist, like, and you make cover art or whatever, like, always send us stuff for sure. Like, just send it to, we put the email in earlier, hello@alwaysneverhere.com if you want to send anything there.
You can also just send it on Instagram.
Or just send it on Instagram, and that's probably the easiest way. And like, who knows if something works out, right? So, yeah, but always feel free to send us anything. Like, and if something works, and like, we'll make it happen, kind of thing. So, it's always a possibility. Daily routine. How do you stay productive? Someone asked, "What's your daily routine and how do you stay productive?" I feel like this is an important question for quarantine, especially because I think we all had to adjust, right, to being home all the time, and depending on your situation, some of you might still be working, or depending where you are in the world. But like over here, for example, like we can't really like leave the house other than going to the grocery store. So it obviously makes things really limiting, and like you don't really get like a lot of fresh air because you mostly stay inside, right? So really, like, staying productive, I think, is we just like knock on each other's doors like constantly and say like, okay, let's do this, let's do that, or whatever, right? And sending files back and forth, and the fact that we live in the same condo really helps a lot with staying productive. We
daily meetings in the living room.
Yeah, daily meetings in the living room. And we also like sometimes do like workouts in the living room, like together, kind of thing.
It's like a Nike training app. It's like basically like a personal trainer in your phone, which is great.
Yeah, so like the Nike training app kind of thing, and like doing that. And I think it's just like important that we're like both, pushing each other to keep going, because it's like, I think when you're alone, it's a bit tougher to.
So easy to just be like, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah, you could say like, oh, I'll do this tomorrow, or like, it's like easy to follow the habits and stuff. So, yeah, I think, I don't know, everyone's situation is different, so it's really tough. But I hope everyone's been able to adjust to like their new situations with quarantine or whatever. But yeah, so that I mean, that's our process, is mostly just getting at each other to stay on top of things.
Hacks Guru says, "Remember me when you become world famous."
Hacks Guru. All right, Hacks Guru.
All right, I'll remember you.
We'll remember you. We promise.
Oh, there he is.
Hacks Guru, there he is. Okay, Hacks Guru, we will remember you. Promise.
Somebody's asking if we plan on selling, or Herman Galvin is actually asking if we plan on selling vinyl records. Also something we've been considering too, but not right now. I think sometime in the future we probably will.
Yeah, that's vinyl records are it's a really cool idea. It's just very hard to find places that press vinyl records, especially like in Canada, it seems.
Because the thing is, like, there's a lot of places that might do it online, but you might actually get records that don't sound good at all. Like, they just do it so fast and so cheap that it just like doesn't translate. So we want to make sure that if we do it, it is like a quality thing. Yeah, so
it's really like, that's the biggest thing. That's the only reason why we haven't done a vinyl record yet, is because it seems to be quite complicated to like get like what we would want out of it, and we wouldn't want to like send you guys something that's like
stop playing
that's not that's maybe like doesn't sound right or something, or like the songs sound kind of fucked up, or I don't know, or it's like printed wrong. Like, there's like a lot of complications. So we're gonna figure it out though. Like, we just gotta find like the right place, and like we will have that as soon as we find the right solution. Because I think it would be really cool to have like the first album printed on vinyl, or the second album kind of thing. So I know a lot of people are into vinyl, so we probably should be able to get that at some point. We'll find it. Someone said there's some Always Never covers on YouTube. Have you guys ever checked on them?
I have, yeah.
I have seen some here and there. I also see a lot of like always never type beats and stuff that people like producers will do, and we always try to check everything anytime. Like we sometimes we'll like Google it just to like see like every now and then.
I always get it from my dad. My dad Googles always never so much, and he always sends me emails with stuff that he finds. So I'm always seeing them. Yeah, and it's awesome. I love seeing it. So if you guys want to make covers, please do.
Yeah, we always try to like comment on them too. Like if we do see something, like even if it has like 10 views or something, like if we see it, like we're always gonna like comment on it and be like, this is dope. Like this is like there's a lot of dope stuff out there. There's obviously a lot, so it's like sometimes it's a little bit hard to find. Whether it's like a cover or a remix or like a always never type beat or something. Like we're always like trying to check stuff out and following anything that we can. Let's see what else. How's that list? Is there,
this list is pretty much like
that's everything.
Yeah.
All right, so we'll check out some questions in the
chat.
comments,
if you guys have any questions, like if you pasted if you posted questions earlier, feel free to just post it again, just because it's like way up in the chat probably.
Would you guys ever consider making a podcast? I've actually really considered that a lot.
Could be fun,
I think it would be cool to do like an episode here and there and talk about like the industry or just talking about being able to pursue a career as a creative person. We've definitely like gotten a lot of questions from just various people about like how to come up as a musician, because I think a lot of musicians who are just starting out have a lot of questions like that about like how do I get from point A to point B kind of thing. I think we could probably help with that. So that's probably something we would talk about on a podcast. How many songs did you guys make with Elijah? Intoxicated was my song of the summer. Would love to see you guys branch off in more genres.
You made 2 songs.
Yeah, so we did 2 songs with. So this is Elijah Woods is somebody you see on our newest album. He's a really good friend of ours and a great musician. And so he was a co-producer and co-writer on 2 songs in our album. Intoxicated and Nerve, and like those were probably the most genre bending ones of the album. I think, or the most different from the album, which was important for us because it was a bit more of like a pop friendly sound kind of thing. And Elijah's like amazing with that stuff. So we're gonna be doing like a lot more stuff with him for sure. Like he's like a great friend of ours. We talk to him like a lot. So we definitely got to get some more in with him. And yeah, like in terms of like different sounds and stuff, like you're definitely exploring a lot of different sounds right now, especially for like next upcoming singles. So this year we're trying to release as much music as possible. Pretty much like almost like a song a month kind of thing. So and we just played Shattered earlier, which is like the next song. So that's on March 4th. And then we're just going to keep at it kind of thing and just give you guys as much music as we can this year.
And for anybody asking, yeah, we're going to keep up the live after. So like, you guys can watch it after if you missed something.
Someone's asking how to pronounce your last name correctly. Yours.
It's a bit of a mouthful for sure. Kirshner.
Yeah,
it's
Polish.
You say it.
All right, so I'll answer a couple more questions and then we'll probably wrap it up. It's already been like an hour and a half. Some of you guys might already be tired of us if you've been here like the whole time, right? So, someone's asking if we can listen to Shattered again. Should we play one more time before the end?
Let's see what everybody thinks. If you want us to play Shattered, spam the comments right now.
Yeah.
we'll do that right before we wrap it up. Play the new single that's coming out on March 4th one more time. I guess we're gonna do it.
Okay, it looks like we should play it.
Looks like we should play it.
Okay, any final questions? I just want to answer like maybe one or two more kind of thing, and then we'll play Shattered. Someone asked about like sound design. I'll just answer that quickly. So on the type of sound design, like I would say using like, I mentioned this earlier, but like Native Instruments Massive is really good for sound design, even though it's like an older plugin. And then for like our style of music, where it's like more very atmospheric. I mean, Omnisphere is another one. But I would take like Omnisphere and use that as like a bass, and then start to like run it through like different like saturations or delays and stuff to make it sound cool. And I would use like something like Guitar Rig 6, for example, from Native Instruments to like really like spice things up. Just like a couple of examples of sound design, but okay, and we'll do one last question. Okay, let's do behind the scenes of See You Soon experience. Okay, so we'll talk a little bit about this, and then we'll play Shattered, and then we'll kind of wrap things up. But
behind the scenes.
So behind the scenes of the See You Soon was so we earlier in the day we were shooting the Fadeaway music video. So we shot this all in one day, and it was like a blizzard outside, and we shot the Fadeaway video I think within like 3 or 4 hours, and then we went back into this like big haunted house kind of thing that's on like that was on the same farmland that that Fadeaway was shot on. And then when we went into the haunted house, then the crew that we had was working on all different like sets and stuff throughout the house.
It was a huge house, so like
there was a huge house.
And like I think the last time they renovated the house was maybe sometime in the 70s. So like each room had a very like particular vibe, like thick carpets and like bizarre wallpapers and like strange colors. And like I think that's actually what made it really special, because like each room really did have its own like kind of like atmosphere. So yeah, so we shot the music video, and then we went right into shooting the show, and you know each room was a different setup, and you know I can't remember what time we got there, but it was pretty early in the morning, and then we wrapped at like midnight. So it was like a 16-hour day, maybe. I don't know. It was a long day. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. I mean, it was like, you know, it was a fast-paced day for sure.
Yeah, it was really hectic, and like, yeah, it was just really like run and gun kind of thing, like the whole time. Like we were just going from like scene to scene kind of thing. It was very hectic, but it was. And then the editing and everything like took about 3 months. It was directed by our friend Justin Abernethy.
Yeah, big shout out to him, and to Nina also, who was a cinematographer on that, and Nikki Mool, who did all the editing, and everybody else who worked on it. Like, you know, we couldn't have done it without them. It was a
it was a huge crew, and it was an amazing crew, and I'm so glad with the timing. Like it was like we were able to do it before the lockdown happened, and then we actually
got really lucky because the lockdown happened the day after, and we didn't like. So obviously we'd been planning it like well in advance, and we had a certain day booked for it. And then they just last minute they announced like the lockdown happening, so we got like really lucky with that.
Yeah.
But anyways,
so
we can play Shattered for you.
We're gonna play so we're gonna play Shattered, and then we're gonna wrap it up. It's been I guess it's already been an hour and a half, and time really flies when we're talking about this stuff and like talking to you guys. So really glad we got to do this, and we're glad that you guys love the show. We've seen like all the comments about how much you guys loved it. So I mean, keep streaming the cinematic experience, and this is the song coming out on March 4th. So Thursday, 5 days. This is called Shattered. Broken hearted, papers on vicious cycle, floated gone. I was stupid, we know better. You were dead to me, but I was better. So I made a mistake. Now I know I wouldn't replay. So we did it better. Foolish ones could end up shining. Could end up shining. Could end up shining. You left me guessing, sleepless nights. Yeah, I had questions. It feels so shameful. I should have known that I was stupid. I felt so alone. So I made a mistake. Now I know I wouldn't replay. So we did it better. Foolish ones could end up shining. Could end up shining. Could end up shining. Could end up shining. All right, so that's Shattered.
That's Shattered. March 4th.
March 4th, Thursday. I know we said that a lot, but just in case anybody's just coming in.
Yeah.
So that's a new song. Stream on Thursday. We're back on our slow jam stuff, so
yeah,
that's where we wanted to go with that one. So,
anyways, it was great talking to all of you guys. Really appreciate you sticking around for the entire hour and a half.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
But yeah,
yeah.
I guess we'll see you soon.
Yeah, we'll see you guys soon, and literally as we said in the concert. So, and once this pandemic's over, we can't wait to get out and come to your cities and do live concerts with you guys again. It's going to be amazing. We can't wait to see you guys in person one day. So, yeah. So on that note, we'll see you soon.
Take care.